Hey, this is James Glassman here working on our tiny home, and I wanted to talk to you about one of the methods for getting an ultra energy efficient home. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that this house, which was a single white trailer to start, was literally ripped down to just the frame. I kept the metal frame, I kept the joists underneath, and I kept some of the 2x4 exterior walls. Otherwise, it's new construction. So for all practical purposes, I bought a box and made a new construction house, which gave me the opportunity to truly make it ultra energy efficient. So step one in making something ultra energy efficient is you're never going to rehab an old home and ever make it as energy efficient as new construction. So, but you can still take efforts to make it as efficient and as tight as possible. But the way to really do it is to start completely from scratch. So I've done that. But then the next thing, to take it from regular minimum building code to way above and get that true ultra energy efficiency, is redundancy. So any chance there's air that can infiltrate the home, it isn't just about slowing it down with insulation, it's about sealing. And so any kind of sealant that you can use, and the three biggies are tape, caulk, and foam. Any kind of sealant that you can use is vitally important. And then redundancy, using all of those methods of sealing around every point where there's a crack or a gap. Let me give you an example. This front door is a classic example. I'm getting ready I put a new door in, got the drywall, going to put it up, going to mud it today. But before I did, I thought, hey, this is a great example of redundancy. So the door comes in its jamb, pre-framed. You install it in the house, boom, you're done. Rough opening, great, right? Well, the perimeter, the door has seals, right? You've probably seen these, which keep air and water out. But where the assembly meets the house has to be sealed. So the first step in this, if you follow the manufacturer's instructions, is you got the brick molding here, you got this molding on the outside, it's stapled onto the jamb. You put a ton of urethane caulk behind this, and I used almost 2 tubes of caulk just on the threshold alone, and another 4 tubes of caulk behind the assembly before I tilted it and pushed it in, and then secured it with screws and shims, right? So you'd think, oh, okay, it's airtight, it's watertight, airtight, maybe. You don't want to rest on your laurels with just one level of redundancy, because the fluid, air is a fluid, rain is a fluid, water is a fluid. You want to keep them both out. You can keep the rain out easier than you can keep the air out. And especially since I use a whole house fan to reduce on AC bills, I wind up actually basically making the house has negative pressure in there. If the atmospheric pressure outside the house is 14.7 roughly, because we're about sea level, inside it could actually be 13.5 to 14. It's pretty cool. So step one, caulk the shit out of it. Okay, great. Step two, I'm not gonna just trust that for air. It's great for water. I foamed it. So the gap between the jamb and the stud is foamed, and you can see the foam right there. And step three, I taped it before putting the drywall on. So the reason I can get this house so airtight and literally have not enough oxygen in the winter when the windows are shut with the HVAC running and it requires an energy recovery ventilator. I have to bring in fresh air, a controlled amount of fresh air, as opposed to a random amount of fresh air around gaps and cracks. The reason it's so airtight is every window, every door, every seam, every drywall where it meets the subfloor. See that? It's all caulked. Everything, and then all the craft faced, the insulation is taped. Every seam is taped, foam, caulked, all of it. And that is how you get a truly ultra energy efficient house. It isn't just about the insulation. It isn't just about slowing down air movement using fiberglass or using foam in terms of heat transfer. You can insulate the stud cavities really well. If all your doors and windows and drywall and every crack and seam and all your electrical boxes aren't properly taped, caulked, and sealed, you're not going to get a truly energy efficient home. And that's exactly what you got to do. Everything has to be taped. This box, which faces the exterior wall, is caulked in the back where the Romex comes through. I also taped the box before I put the insulation up. I cut the insulation super tight to it, and then for absolute redundancy, I've taped the craft face to the box, right? This is a truly sealed box, truly sealed door, absolute redundancy. Well, anyway, hey, thanks for watching. That is the way you get a truly, truly, truly ultra, way far above minimum building code home. Ultra, ultra, ultra energy efficient home. Thanks for watching.